Hey, those big statues made out of Lego bricks are back at the MSV. Nature Connects, featuring amazing animal sculptures made out of Lego by artist Sean Kenny at the Museum of the Shenandoah Valley is now open. All the statues are new to the MSV. A polar bear made of 130,000 Lego bricks, an 11-foot-long rhinoceros, a life-size zebra, and so many more made completely out of Lego bricks. Get your discount tickets right now at themsv.org. Don't miss it. Sponsored in part by Perry Engineering at perryeng.com.
It's always the right time deal.
Hey, want to go to Mickey D's for lunch?
Ooh, let's go now.
But it's not lunchtime yet.
If we're going to McDonald's, it's always the right time.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
There's a deal for every lunch hour at McDonald's.
Now's the time to get 2 for $3.99. Mix and match a 4-piece McNuggets, a McDouble, a McChicken, or a hot and spicy McChicken. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Yeah. So once I get to another certain point with more cables, you'll be able to hear that through here instead of out there.
Yeah.
Again, were you here for one of those?
I think
Maybe once.
Yeah.
I had it set up correctly, and then my dog decided he was going to run through the cables.
Right.
Literally.
As they do.
Ugh, motherfucker, dude. My shit went everywhere.
Yeah, it's okay. My dog's annoying too.
You have a dog?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Do you have cats?
No.
That's super weird. I don't know why I thought you had cats.
Yeah. I like cats. I think they're fascinating creatures, and I would love to have one. But one, they're sort of unpredictable.
Cats?
Yeah.
They're vicious little fuckers when they want to be.
Right. And, we have the baby, and then the dog hates cats, and me and my wife are both allergic, so the baby's most likely allergic.
Maybe that's the association I made was something about dog hair, cat hair.
Dog hair, probably.
Maybe, yeah. I remember
it's a real problem
for you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
I think it's hilariously funny to watch a declawed cat try and do violent things.
Yeah.
I'm a little sadistic for that one. I will agree.
But
I think it's funnier than fuck.
It's kind of cute.
I think it's funny when they smack a dog when they're declawed.
Right.
But
yeah.
Anyway. Sorry.
But the confidence is there.
Yeah.
Just not the,
not the damage.
Yeah.
They can't do what they want to do. All you hear is a...
Yeah. It's really sad, though. Cats shouldn't be declawed.
I actually agree with you on
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's I kind of feel the same way. Like cats declawed, dogs getting their balls taken off. I'm like, those two. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a weird stance. You're just taking away from their instinctual abilities. Anyhow, off onto a weird tangent. That's my fault.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're back in this bitch. I don't have to tell you who's in here with me tonight. Mr. Sheldon.
It's your boy.
My IT guy.
Just kidding.
So, no, it's my boy. He's back in here making production choices and decisions. Hopefully to make this thing a little bit better.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm watching that fucking green bar like it's my job now.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, man.
That's exactly where we want it.
This is going to be the longest midlife learning curve I've ever had in my life. Wait. That was a little ass backwards. I'm sorry. This is going to be the longest learning curve I've had in my... I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I find myself having to learn new things so often.
In your job?
Just in general.
Oh, okay.
Like, mainly in my job, yeah. Because it's just, people are wanting more innovative things and different things with more updated technology and more updated software. And it's just constantly changing. So one, keeping up with all of the changes, but two, learning the new best tool and these other tools that I have not yet heard of in order to meet the demand is, I find myself doing it quite often.
That actually sounds really conflicting. I know, probably 1/100th of a degree of what you actually know about the industry you're in and the technology you deal with, and I couldn't even imagine trying to keep up with it. And the amount of shit that's possible these days,
Yeah, it's crazy.
it is absolutely asinine. That's a good word for it.
It's kind of weird too, because there's always a new technology coming out,
Yeah.
or a new program or a new piece of software, but the stuff that is the oldest still has its place and is still very commonly used for most things.
That's interesting.
So just because something new comes around, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to transition over to that to be the best of the best. It's kind of interesting because it's really just whatever suits you. So there's so many different things that work to accomplish the same goal. It's just whatever style you prefer, pretty much.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Man, that's so crazy to think about, because like I can associate that with vehicles. That would be my only association. Every single aspect of that vehicle is customizable, so
Yeah.
I can only imagine that stands,
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's crazy to think about in another field.
Yeah,
Especially in something, and you work surrounded by the newest, latest and greatest software and all the AI shit that's coming out and the capabilities, and I don't have a fucking clue where to start.
It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
It's incredible, man.
Are you into the AI shit at all? Does your interest lie there at all?
Yeah. I'm definitely familiar with it, and I dabble in it, and I use it quite often.
What part do you dabble in?
Just what it's being used for, the things, especially now recently, just all of the projects and all the ways that AI is improving so many different things in the world. And also, I try to stay away from all of the negative and all the like, oh shit, it's AI, look out, we're fucking doomed, because now that AI is taken off, the world's gonna be, humans are gonna go extinct and shit.
Is that the majority of what you've heard?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's, I guess now that I say it out loud, that
everybody who's not in tech that I have directly talked to basically thinks that.
Not in tech.
Okay. Yeah.
So that to me sounds like uneducated people with closed mind.
Well, I think it's more so just that it's right now it's trending for some reason.
Well,
and
it's because it's all over. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just gonna be frank with it. Every fucking platform of podcasts that I've listened to has had an episode recently about AI,
right? And
the integrity that goes with it and shit like that. And
exactly.
And so you're not fucking wrong at all. It's a big. Oh god, I'm gonna join in with the rest of them. GPT 4.0 came out.
Yeah.
And it's had some pretty questionable responses.
It's incredible.
Have you played with it?
Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it free?
Yes.
Oh, I haven't fucked with it at all.
It's amazing.
I didn't know if it was free or not, so I was like, I don't want to go into some fucking website that I don't know about.
No, it's free for sure.
Well, now I kind of want to fuck with it.
It's great, man. I'm telling you, it is.
It's great?
You're
making me excited right now.
No, it really is. It's incredible. It's an incredible piece of software. Yeah.
Well,
And so there's been a lot of people to talk about the possible downsides of AI and kind of things to look out for, things to be worried about that are much smarter than me in the tech field. And regardless of the...
It's the first thing that came up.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Just so you know, the process of like getting into it, it's a little...
Oh, is it dicey?
Yeah.
All right, well, we won't do it right now then.
But I'll show you.
That's fine.
But there are some people, and no matter what stigma comes along with these people or people's views about certain people that talk about this stuff, there are some brilliant people out there that have legitimate input, legitimate concerns, and opinions about AI, which is great. My opinion is that it is if we don't use the technology in a smart way and we don't learn to adapt with it, it will essentially ruin a big part of the world as we know it, but not in like a iRobot kind of way or like a Terminator kind of way, but in a way where using something like ChatGPT has the ability to take away all creative freedom that people have, and they're like artistic, their creative ability. Mm-hmm. So like at this point, anybody can be a songwriter, anyone can be an author, anyone can be a programmer if they know the essentials. I mean, you have to know some stuff because you have to ask for certain things. You have to command ChatGPT to give you something. But it's going to be soon, I believe. It's going to be less about these people who, like, authors. They take a lot of time to write books. It's a whole creative process. They have to think of an idea. They have to expand on that idea. They have to make it feel real. There's a huge, long process that goes into writing a book. And if someone is able to get even just a rough draft of an entire book just by simply saying, hey, can you write me a 5,000-page paper on this thing, then I feel like it's going to be replacing a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of things being released that aren't necessarily true, like people being songwriters who aren't really songwriters.
You know, I on the lighter side, I was gonna say kind of where you headed to in a very, very deep degree, which is more than I had thought about. But you're right. The creativity level is now it's easy for anybody to attain.
Yeah.
Because I had seen that stuff to a very small degree. Because I don't really do much on social media. I don't really do much online, to be honest with you. So I'd seen some small examples of just like, we'll say exam papers, for example. Even fucking breakup letters.
Right.
You know, things like that. And I can say, okay, it's going to replace, you know, you don't have to put any effort into such and such. So to the degree of which you speak, I completely agree. And that's crazy. I'm a little bit more excited for the integration of AI.
Yeah.
That stuff, I don't know, it's...
Okay, let's get this cavity filled.
Doctor, I think your tank is leaking laughing gas.
Gas? Did you hear you can save on gas at BJ's Wholesale Club?
Wait, you can save on gas at BJ's?
Yeah, members save on everyday low gas prices.
You gotta be kidding me.
Nope, these savings are no joke.
BJ's, absurdly simple savings. Shop today. Not a member? Go to bjs.com/simple savings.
People talk so much about the negative of what could happen, and how it could go south real quick, and I agree. It's a possibility, but I think
It's Jeep 4x4 season. Make your next adventure epic and hurry in now for great deals. And now, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe for $389 a month for 24 months with $5,399 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution, a lease through Chrysler Capital. Extra charge for miles over 20,000. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 5/31/23. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Leftovers or the DMV
number 97
or house cleaning or Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
It's on the cusp of being something extraordinary.
It is extraordinary.
And that part excites me a lot more than the negative, because if the integration comes before the segregation, separation. So if the integration comes and then AI finds its own being, and we separate from AI again, and it's AI against human, which is where everybody's scared. I think we'll be fine in that aspect.
I mean,
we're gonna integrate before anything like that happens.
The thing is that anybody can have an opinion on what AI will become and what it's going to do to the future of humans, but no one really knows. Like, just because AI exists doesn't mean it's destined to become sentinel and then also become evil and then just want to destroy humanity, because AI doesn't feel. It's not human.
It for sure doesn't feel. And that's where the big question mark is. And that's why I have such a hard time automatically going towards a sentient being that wants to destroy us.
Right.
Is it possible? Sure. We're a hazard in our own right to ourselves.
I mean, yeah, it can definitely be taught anything. If it's taught that these things are evil and these actions should be taken against these evil things, and then here's the command, go, sure.
But also, how do we know it doesn't quantify its own solutions for our big problems?
Well, at this current stage that I know of, and that I think that many other people know of, is that right now anything AI is made with data sets that are input by humans, and then AI is fine-tuned by humans to behave like humans, give the most realistic sounding responses, but it has a bunch of parameters. Like, for instance, ChatGPT-4 is built off of ChatGPT-3 or 3.5.
3.5, yeah.
And it was created with 570 gigabytes of data sets.
That's it?
Input into it. It's a lot.
Well, I know it's a lot, but it's still...
Right. And then it has over 750 million parameters, which are you can and cannot do these things, right? And then it's constantly fine-tuned to give the most natural sounding responses, to give the most accurate information, to, it's constantly being improved to be better.
I think this, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think this information right here, this educated information, is something that should be hugely exploited.
Yeah.
I believe that what you're telling me right here, right now, this is accurate, yeah?
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that stuff should be on the front line of what everybody's hearing.
Yeah.
And it's not talked about enough, because what you're saying, like you're the guy that's educated in this stuff. I am not. So all the shit that I hear is all the shit that I'm just going to input, and I can make my own decision based off that.
Right.
Like the normal ass, fucking 80% of the world. But knowing that those parameters and that information was set for a specific boundaries, that in and of itself would tell me, okay, well, this is nothing more than a specific amount of information.
No, and see, people,
it can answer within a certain boundary.
People have this weird idea that ChatGPT-4 is AI, and that this program by itself is the thing that's going to become evil and ruin humanity. ChatGPT-4 is a language learning model designed to help with answering questions, helping you edit your papers, helping you. It's basically somewhat of like an assistant, like a virtual assistant.
But none of the information that I've heard has ever been described that way.
Right.
None of it.
And another thing is that the latest data, the latest information that ChatGPT-4 has is from the middle of 2021. So the most current information
is not even current.
No. So there's a lot of people that are asking questions and having it do things. So like, oh my God, it knows everything, but it's really outdated data, because it doesn't just, you don't ask ChatGPT a question and then it goes and runs your question through Google and then gets the answer. It has to go based off of the information that's been input to it, the data sets that's been input to it.
I think this is hugely notable.
And at any moment they can update it. They can give it more recent, more current information. And a good way to check that is just to ask ChatGPT what date is your most current source of information from, or like what date have you been most recently updated, or like what is your most current information or your most current data set, or something along these lines, to see when it has most recently been updated, and it'll tell you.
This is like normal information for you.
Yeah.
Do you understand how many people don't know this?
So many.
I mean, you're single-handedly proving the narrative wrong. Now, are the possibilities of AI as an actual intelligence doing its own thing out there? Yes. I've heard of so many different platforms. I'm gonna fuck up all the words, but different platforms and formats of speaking their own language and being disabled almost immediately because of it.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Those are the only things that I've ever heard of, but I didn't know that this thing that you ask questions to was set on. I have learned, the one thing that has been explained is that it is biased to a certain degree. Its answers are not always, how do you say this without getting, I'm not dabbling in any other topics right now. I'm just not doing it.
Accurate?
Sure. About specific people.
Sure.
It won't speak negatively of specific people.
Right.
And that has been proven.
Yeah.
So I guess that...
As it shouldn't.
I guess that in and of itself... Well, I know, but if it's not designed to be biased. It's designed to be informational.
No. But that's the thing. So it not speaking negatively about somebody is a non-biased opinion. It's a non-biased answer. because it has no association whether this thing is good or bad except for what it's programmed to know.
Well, that's kind of my point is regardless of what it's programmed to know is that there's certain people it won't speak negatively of, but certain people that it will speak negatively of.
Yeah. See,
you follow me?
A lot of the stuff that you can get ChatGPT to say is based off of your keyword triggers over a course of whatever length of conversation.
This is probably going to be something that I wouldn't fully understand because I don't fully understand how the programming of it works, and the keywords I know are a big thing. The way you word a question or a statement is going to be a huge part of this. There's so many fucking variables that I, as a regular person, wouldn't understand.
Well, and ChatGPT 4 is still so new that there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. But from all the information that I know about it is from experience and also from just what I've read in the tech community, not off of Facebook and these other sources where people get their news from. It's actually people. I'm heavily involved in the tech community, which is gigantic, and so most of the information that the tech community is spreading around is just all of the incredible things that ChatGPT has done so far, the things that people have made with it, how it's made programming easier, the thousands of apps and websites and ways to basically make your life easier, and using ChatGPT for what it's supposed to be used for, essentially. It's a helpful tool, which is an incredibly helpful tool.
That was my next question, was what do you think, or what do you know is the actual design of what it was supposed to be?
Well, it's just supposed to be, again, like a virtual assistant. So
it's a little fucking paperclip that Microsoft used to have. I'm just kidding.
If you type a huge essay and you need it to be edited, you need it to be corrected, you can copy paste your essay into there and say, can you fix this to be grammatically correct in the English language?
That was really the initial design?
Well, yeah.
Really? I mean, I don't know shit.
It's a language learning model. That's basically what they're for. You ask it a question and it gives you the best answer that it has the ability to, the most accurate information. But you can also ask it to write you code for something. So you can say,
really?
I need this code that does this thing within these parameters. Can you write it for me? And then it'll actually give you the syntaxed code for whatever it is that you need, that's what people are using. People are using it to make websites. They're using it to make apps. They're using it to, and so you have to have a basic knowledge of computer programming to ask it to do certain things.
For now, you
can't just say, make Facebook, and then it'll give you every single piece of code for Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use it to give you creative ideas. Like my wife used it for coming up with different poems for her job, like different categories of things. So poems associated with, fairies or frogs, and then poems that are directed at children.
And it does it?
It does it, yeah.
What I hear, honestly, like the first thing that comes to my mind is it's privatizing, quote unquote, college education.
Oh yeah. Well, see, the education system, that's one thing that they're going to have to rework the entire educational system.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
It's not so much of an issue. I mean, I guess it's kind of controversial if, your middle school or elementary school or high school or college is like, I have this assignment, can you do it for me? and then it does it, and then you turn that in, that's, whatever. If it's not that important, then it I guess it doesn't really matter. But if you take something like a doctor or a nurse, and the only reason that they passed medical school is because they were getting all of their assignments turned and all of their knowledge using ChatGPT, then you have somebody who is working in the medical field who doesn't really know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's a little different.
And I will say that there's multiple steps to the medical field. So, like, there's a lot of hands-on training. You have to take certain tests to be certified to be certain things. So you have to have the knowledge in there. But when it comes to the basic, like, homework assignments and such, just to get you through the program, you can have it all done for you.
Right.
And then you can take all of that and study and, of course, study enough to pass these exams and pass these certificate, But I think that a big portion of it is that during COVID, there was a lot of people who everything went to online. So there's a lot of people that did things not honestly all of the time.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
with all the Skype classes and shit like that.
Yeah. There was so much room for cheating, for using different devices to find answers, and what that does is it says, well, I have a test in 2 weeks. I don't have to study for it because I could just search up all the answers right here. Nobody knows what I'm doing, and I can pass this exam.
I witnessed that shit firsthand.
Well, great. You passed the exam, but you didn't really learn anything. You didn't really know anything. You just looked everything up. And that's essentially what ChatGPT can do, especially for the younger kids. Kids going through elementary school, middle school, and high school. They can just use this to complete most of their homework assignments. And whether or not that's super essential information, well, when they get to college or when they want to go further, or at any point in time, basically when they need to refer back to that stuff, they may not have it because they didn't actually have to learn anything.
Right. And I don't know enough to know about what the measures are going to be to prevent shit like that, but my first thought, merely speculation, is that there's going to be countermeasures to know what kind of shit you're getting from GTP. There are certain things that people can do to replicate it. So, for instance, if I ask ChatGPT a question and you ask ChatGPT the exact same question, chances are we will most likely get the same response. Just a basic general question will probably get a very similar, if not the exact same response. Interesting.
Now,
okay.
That's not always the case, because sometimes the data that it has, there's so much of it, and some of the topics are controversial topics. So if you ask it a question and then you ask the same question again, it may give you a different answer, just because in the data sets that it has, there's a lot of both sides of this answer to this question. But there are things that the students can do to kind of override that. For instance, if you say, write me a essay about frogs, right? Then it writes you an essay. You don't know how long it's going to be. You don't really know what you're going to get. You just say, I need an essay about frogs. Well, then if somebody else says, I need an essay about frogs, it's probably not going to be the same. But eventually, if you ask it for the same thing in different variations, you'll probably get something similar to like what was handed in, so they could check this stuff. But what the kids could do is say, I need a paper written about frogs that, really enjoy sitting on lily pads in a pond, and their favorite activity is catching flies and croaking jokes with their friends. And I need it to be 5,000 words or less. Can you do that for me?
So you think that the similarities are going to be so obvious to a certain degree? You're going to be able to pick it apart, essentially?
You could, but there's also so many things that you could say that won't match up.
So I guess that just takes me back to my original statement is, where do you think the defining line is going to be? How do you think we're going to defeat that as a... the two objections here is that educators know how to enforce not using it, or the other extreme...
That's impossible.
Huh?
That's impossible.
Okay, so the other end of that, the other extreme would be is that educators cannot combat and colleges fall.
Well, I think from what I know that they're doing right now is that typically you get a homework assignment and it has very specific directions. Like, these are the questions and you need to answer those questions. Right. And so what the students will do is they'll just type in the exact question on their homework assignment, get the answer, and then write it down. Well, if the teacher types in the question to ChatGPT exactly how it's written down and then gets the answer.
Okay. So you're thinking a more proactive approach.
Yeah. That's what they've been doing.
Okay, so this is I'm just behind.
Well,
and that's okay.
Yeah, but there's always a way around something.
Sure.
So
yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm curious to find out, because not being in school anymore, I don't really have like a hands-on experience with how they're handling everything.
Right, everything is so different now.
But I'm very curious, because a lot of stuff, especially in kindergarten, elementary school, high school, it's all the same. There's not a whole lot of variation to it because it's all just general education.
Mm-hmm.
So in those senses, I don't really know if there's anything to be done about it. But if you're talking about a specific field, like if you're going to school to be a software developer and you're going through a program, that's a different story. I mean, they could catch you for plagiarism in different ways, or if you're going to school for law or something.
Also a good point. Man, there's so many different degrees. When this stuff becomes truly like integrated in a part of everything, it's going to be wild to see how much. I don't even have the words to explain how to think about it, because I just don't know how integrated. That's the only fucking word I can use, because I mean that's it. It's going to be a part of everything you do, eventually.
Well, so I was keeping up with the tech industry as soon as ChatGPT got released, and everything was like 8 hours ago ChatGPT 4 got released to the public, and these are the things that people have made so far.
You were that
with
close
ChatGPT.
with it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it was like immediately out of the gate, people are taking advantage of it and just using it to save their company money, to make things easier, to just overall improve so many aspects of whatever they're using it for.
Right.
Which is great, and that's exactly how it should be used. It's a tool to help you in whatever it is that you need help with, if it's something that's within its capabilities of doing.
But as you know, everything that's developed for a good purpose will always be exploited for everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just how things work.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just some of the things that people are saying about AI, and when they say AI, they mean ChatGPT-4. It is just so ridiculous because ChatGPT-4 can't do most of the stuff that people are saying it's doing at the current moment.
The way you explained it, though, was fucking perfect, though. Because, again, I've never heard it, and I've listened to 1.5 million different podcasts and interviews and, you know, just everything about it, and it's never been explained in that specific diagram.
Yeah.
And I think that is hugely notable. I would love to share that with the bigger crowd that we don't have right now.
Well, I wanted to take a deeper dive into it. One, because it's an incredible thing, and two, because people are just saying, "Oh, ChatGPT-4 is just Google. You might as well just Google anything." And ChatGPT-4 doesn't even use Google. Like, it's incredible what people just assume, and then they just say like, "This is the right answer because this is something that I heard." No, it does act as a search engine at times, yes, but that doesn't mean that it's Google. And so I wanted to figure out how exactly ChatGPT-4 got its information, got its data, was trained, how it was developed, what it was meant to be used for, all this stuff. And this is all stuff that you can find around the web. I mean, it's very available knowledge that you can find if you take the time out of your day to fucking look it up.
Right.
Which is like, so many people just don't want to. They're just like, oh, it's ruining everything, and it's going to be a virus, and it's going to steal my bank information. What is ChatGPT-4 going to do with your bank information?
I would agree. I would agree with that idea. For a general idea of the population, because a lot of people will just take a negative thought about specific things and just run with that rather than putting in the time and the effort to actually figuring out, you know, what it's going to be and what it benefits and things like that.
Yeah.
And boy, that's such a vast degree of things.
I have no idea what AI is going to become, or what it's going to do, or what its capabilities are going to be. But what I do know is that what we have now, ChatGPT-4, and by the way, that's just OpenAI's version of ChatGPT-4. The major companies are going to start making their own versions of ChatGPT-4.
That's also a brilliant point.
So Google's making one, Amazon's making one. Mm-hmm. These companies are making their own version of ChatGPT-4. Whether it's going to be better or not, I'm not sure yet. But I would recommend to utilize it, be smart about it, and accept it. It's an incredible tool that you can use to improve so many different aspects of your life, your business, your day-to-day. I mean, it's a really incredible tool. And to stray away from the doom and gloom of what's being spread around the world, because, one, nobody knows. Everyone can have their opinion, their prediction, etc., but nobody knows what it's going to turn into. Mm-hmm. And as of right now, though, it's nothing to worry about, in my opinion.
Man, my brain goes from one end of this court to the other in such a strange way. There are so many people working on so many different things, aside from the AI and aside from trying to develop robotics, prosthetics, and of course I'm talking about companies like Neuralink, shit like that.
Yeah.
Everything integrated with technology, I should say. That would probably be the primary focus. You don't have any real wonders about something big clicking one day? Just like a discovery on a scale that we're not prepared for?
No.
You don't?
No. My life revolves around technology.
Sure.
And I choose to embrace the new technology because it's fucking incredible.
It is super incredible.
It's there. We have it. It exists. So why not be excited about it? Why not embrace it? Why not take it as an opportunity to unlimited potential?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's my perspective, rather than just I wonder what could go wrong, because
I'm not.
Who the fuck wants to do that?
I'm not necessarily asking.
I know you're not.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, again, me as somebody that's not in the industry, I mean, I guess it's just because I'm literally sitting at the sidelines, just looking and waiting.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't have any true evidence, so to speak. So I guess you're right. You follow that stuff. It's your life's work. So I guess the input that would be with that would have a lot of play in your thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's definitely fair.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge difference being involved in the technology field.
Uh-huh.
And somebody who's not.
Right.
But we already have some of the most incredible pieces of technology that exist that people don't even stop to think of. Like, they don't appreciate the pieces of technology for what they are, which is just mind-blowing to me, because people just use their phone and they use their cameras and they talk to people on the phone, and without even like having a thought of how the fuck is this even happening right now. Like, some really simple basic ideas that just blow my fucking mind is, one, that you can communicate with somebody on the other side of the world.
Right, in real time.
In real time. You can hear their voice and they can hear your voice, and you're in two different locations using a device, and your voice is being transmitted to them somehow, which is just fucking crazy, dude.
I think about this actually probably more often than I should for some fucking reason. Even at the very, very basic of the technological advances that we've had, like, dude, there's some weird fucking days where I'm like, there is a strange wavelength going from my phone to my earbuds.
Yeah.
And I think that, in and of itself, is pretty fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And that is a basic technology.
The thought that if you're wearing Bluetooth headphones,
do that every day.
The waves are constantly going through your brain, to your device.
Every day I wear earbuds.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, back in, when I was growing up, it was always, everything was wired.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the wire thing, maybe I can get behind.
Yeah.
But now I don't have to connect my phone to fucking anything.
No,
and
it's incredible.
Stuff is just there.
Yeah.
My truck displays all that shit and takes all the information from this to that. I don't need a wire.
Yeah. Another incredible thing is, like, look at photos and videos. You take a picture and then you have literally a moment of time that can never be repeated again, saved as a digital copy. You're taking a picture and it's capturing something that no longer exists because it happened already. It's in the past.
And then fucking Apple took it a step further and made you do live photos.
It's insane.
It is absolutely insane.
Like, there is an explanation of how taking photos works, but the thought of you're just using a thing and you're literally pausing time and saving it forever is just fucking, it's mind blowing.
Yeah, if you don't think any piece of technology that you hold is absolutely insane, then you're fucking out of your mind.
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
But instead, people are just like, I'm a photographer. Let me take pictures and not even think about, like, what this thing really is that you're
we have this fucking weird box that attaches to another weird box here, right? And all my stuff connects to it somehow without wires.
Yeah.
And I can send anything from here to anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's just, we're just cool with it.
It's insane.
Yeah, and it makes my phone faster because it needs to be faster, you know?
Yeah.
It's everything is super bizarre.
Yeah.
And I don't know. As somebody who understands it, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't understand how people don't think about that shit on the daily, to at least some degree.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's mind-blowing that the fact that your car is steering itself doesn't fucking blow your mind.
I mean, I suppose there's really nothing wrong with it. Like, there's a bunch of people around the world who are constantly glued or addicted to or whatever these devices, these crazy superhuman devices that everybody has, and they just use them, and there's nothing wrong with having a thing and using it and just enjoying it or whatever, but I don't know, maybe it is because I'm in tech, but sometimes I just stop and I think about this thing where you're literally touching a piece of glass and it's allowing you to do all of this stuff.
Everything.
And it's nuts. Like, it's absolutely incredible. And I think even more crazy than that is I don't know, for some reason, man, the thought of, like, if I'm here and you're there, we can just call and hear each other. That is such a fucking crazy thought to me.
Right.
How I'm hearing your voice out of this thing, but, like, how? It is, like, how does your voice get transferred into something and then transmitted and then something else can send that out? Like, it blows my fucking mind.
Not
man.
only that, but in real time.
Yeah.
Within seconds.
Right.
The delay is slim to none at this point. To take a step into the next fucking episode.
Yeah.
This is why aliens are watching us. They're like, these motherfuckers, they got a grip.
Dude,
they're catching up.
I think it's nuts, man. And I just want to say, too, that, you know, this is all, what I'm talking about comes from my own experience and the research that I've done. I am a professional, but just because I work in tech doesn't mean I know everything. So
is this our disclaimer?
Well, I guess, because there's always those people that are like, oh no, that's fucking wrong. Well, I mean, you know, if it's wrong, then okay, sure, but just look it up. I mean, this is all stuff that I've found places. So, I mean, and hearing from people that work in the field and I would say reputable sources, but, you know, of course, I'm just a human, you know.
Just remember that anything you want to look up is literally seconds away in the palm of your hand. And this was something at one point that took up several rooms to do and several days to do at a time.
Yeah.
So if you want to fact check anything, you go right ahead and hit that Google button.
Yeah, right. No, exactly. I just,
you can search anything all the time. Yeah, no. We do not claim to be accurate.
Right. And there's always more stuff to know, but just be aware. If you're turned off by the idea of using ChatGPT or hundreds of other AI-powered pieces of software or software that was created using AI technology because of something that you read off of Facebook or on Reddit, or because somebody told you that this or this, just do your own research, check it out for yourself, try it out, because it really is incredible. And there's so many different things. ChatGPT 4 is just one of thousands of other things like it that can do so many other things, and it's incredible. It's there. The technology exists. So see what you can do with it. Have fun.
I think that's fair right there. Yeah, any deniability you have, look it up. Look it up for yourself, man. We have again, supercomputers in the palm of our hands.
Yeah.
It'll tell you anything you want to know, and probably more than you want to know.
Right.
So, we've spent a whole episode talking about AI, which is super cool.
I knew it was gonna come eventually.
I'm super glad to have sparked a passion of yours. I get a glimpse of them every here and again, but
yeah,
this is one of the things that I love. This is great, and especially coming from you.
Yeah, so. It's an incredible thing. I enjoy every second of it. There are things, again, that it's not a 100%. It'll give you the correct responses, the correct answers. It won't always do exactly what you want it to do, but again, it is trained to be as human as possible, as accurate as possible, and with a limited data set and parameters. So just because it tells you something doesn't necessarily mean that it's always right, but it could be. So just keep that in mind, because
no, that is incredible knowledge. And I think, again, if I had the means, if I had the platform, man, I would send that so many fucking places, because that's the first time I've heard about it. And not anything against you, but the fact that I have to hear it here.
Right.
Yeah. You know, of all the giant platforms that I listen to and that I read from and things like that, I hear it from a close friend of mine that I'm gonna not get specific, but certain AI platforms are trained within certain parameters.
Right.
I think that's huge.
Yeah.
That is something definitely that should be talked about a lot more. So.
Well, and there's other things too, like, for instance, Elon Musk has been incredibly involved in all of this, and
Sure.
he has his own thoughts and opinions about AI, and I am not even a fraction of as brilliant as that person is. Like, he's a fucking genius.
He's a fucking monster.
On so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
And so, some of that it could be correct. It could just be a personal perspective. But this is really all, again, just my experience. So I just want to put that out there just so everyone knows for sure.
Well, that's all right. This would be another one I'd like to have a little bit more input on. Questions, comments, input.
Yeah.
If somebody has anything to add.
Yeah, it's welcome. And if anything is incorrect, please let us know.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Will we'll check it out.
But otherwise, spread the love, spread the joy.
Yeah.
The joy that is AI. As always, shoot us an email. me@gmail.com. me@info. How do I say it for this many fucking episodes and still fuck it up?
I don't know. Maybe that's why we haven't gotten any emails.
Dude!
You said it wrong every time.
Every fucking... Anyway. me@gmail.com. MEVSME@gmail.com.
Right.
Like, comment, subscribe on any platform you're listening on.
Yeah, click all the things. Do all the things.
Maybe that's just what I should summarize these things as, because you've said that every time, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Click all the things and like all the things.
Yeah.
As he said. We love you.
Love you so much.
Thank you. Leftovers. Or the DMV.
Number 97.
Or house cleaning. Or
Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details. Leftovers. Or the DMV.
Number 97.
Or house cleaning. Chumba Casino always brings the fun. Play over 100 different games online for free from anywhere. You could redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. Live the Chumba life. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.